Okay, for the sake of time, I'm going to keep moving us along here. Um, I know there's probably no way that you filled in that whole calendar and got your whole semester year planned out, but I want you to see that as a resource that we're providing for you guys. It'd be great for you, in fact, to take some time, look at that, plan some things out, get some ideas, and then take it to the first time you meet with your coach and kind of talk it over with them, see what ideas they might have for you and how it could look in your group. But see that as a resource, continue to use it, and bring it to your first coaches meeting. That'd be great. By the way, my name is Scott. I'm the spiritual formation director here at the Well, if I haven't had the chance to meet you yet. Previously, I've spent a lot of my time at North Campus, so I haven't been at some of the other campuses yet. But with my new role, I get to float around a little bit, so I look forward to kind of hanging out and seeing y'all and kind of being a part of what's going on at your campus. And personally, I'm super excited for Southeast Campus. Me and my family just moved over in that neighborhood, and so excited to hang out with you folks and get to know you and kind of love on and serve in that neighborhood. So a couple of quick wrap-up things from Chris's time in the Rhythms. You know, as you think through connecting to God and to each other in every neighborhood, what that looks like, we break those three up into sort of specific individual things. But the reality is that those things overlap a ton. When we say, go out and serve, live on mission in your neighborhood, there's sometimes no greater way to connect to each other than by serving alongside and with one another. And so we break them up kind of because it's easy to describe that way. But we know, and you should know, the reality is they overlap in a lot of different ways. And sometimes connecting to each other is some of the most godly things you can do as you learn to connect to God to each other. And so those things will overlap. But have fun just playing around, exploring, trying different things, as Chris said. And then as we move forward, there's something we've been working on here at the Well in the last couple years or so, and that's this idea of coaching. And so I want to talk to you just for a couple minutes about coaching. What is coaching? What's that look like for us? Why do we do it? Why is it important for you? And why is it important for us as sort of a staff team? When I say the word coach, what comes to mind for you? Coach or coaching? How have you experienced it? What sort of things do you think about? Shout some stuff out. Encouragement, yeah. Yelling, yeah. What was that? Discipline. Well, I heard two. What? Guidance? Help? Yeah. Mentoring? Yeah. What else? Growth? Okay. Where have you experienced a coach or coaching? And what sorts of relationships or what sorts of people? Teams? Yeah, sort of the athletic world. What else? Jobs? Yeah. Maybe with a boss or coworkers. Anything else? What was that? Kids. Yeah, for sure. See, when we talk about coaching, all of us bring sort of our own ideas, our own experiences to what a coach is and what it looks like. And so as we try and explore what it looks like to be a coach here at the Well, we thought it would be important to just kind of define that for you. And really simply put, a coach is someone who comes alongside to help you grow as a disciple of Jesus and help you grow as a leader of your life group. That's what a coach is. And all of you who are life group leaders will have a coach that'll come along and help you do those things. Some of you, in fact, here in this room today are both life group leaders and coaches, and so you get to experience both sides of this relationship in some ways. But a lot of what a coach does is exactly the stuff that you brought up. A lot of my understanding of a coach, at least early on, was in the athletic world. I can remember being a junior, senior in high school back in upstate New York, playing lacrosse, and had two different coaches over 2 years, and how those coaches learned to sort of make us better as a team. They knew when to push us, when to challenge us, when to yell at us, when to be encouraging, and when to direct us, teach us, equip us, teach us the plays, that sort of stuff. As a result, for me, over those 2 years, we had a very successful lacrosse team, and it was because those coaches learned how to adapt to each player on the field, how they needed to be talked to, how they needed to be encouraged, how they needed to be pushed. And so coaching for us is similar to those things. It's right along those lines. But I want you to hear, a coach for us is not sort of an expert or a know-it-all. They don't have it all figured out. They're not necessarily a spiritual juggernaut. They're somebody who comes alongside you and is able to ask really good questions. They're probably going to do more listening than teaching. They're going to probably ask really good prompting questions. They're going to ask convicting stuff. And yeah, occasionally they'll do some mentoring, some teaching, some counseling. There's space for all of that in a coaching relationship. But primarily what they're there to do is to help you listen to, discern the voice of God in your life and that of your life group. We don't want the coach to be the primary voice in your life. We want God to be the primary voice in your life. And they're simply there to kind of guide you to that, to help you listen to that voice, to encourage you and challenge you personally as a disciple, but also as a group to go, okay, what are you doing to live out these three rhythms? Where do you need to grow? How can you get stronger? Where are you weak? Where can you share leadership? Those are the sorts of questions that they're going to ask. The goal of a coach is to come along and challenge you to intentional action, so to speak, because I know a lot of us, for myself included, without someone on the outside to kind of challenge and prompt and keep us moving, there's a tendency, for some of us at least, to just kind of float, to go with the flow, to go with what's natural, what's our bent. Well, a coach can kind of come on the outside and go, hey, where do you need to go and how are you going to get there? They're really going to help you ask and answer three primary questions. Where am I at? Where do I want to go? And how will I get there? And so that's what a coach is and kind of how they function. But why is a coach important to you guys as leaders? Well, believe it or not, especially for those of you who are new life group leaders, leading a life group is messy. And if you don't believe me, ask one of the veterans around here. As soon as you show up and get into a life group and people walk in to Starbucks or your living room, wherever you guys are going to meet, life's going to happen and it's going to get messy. And you're going to have questions, you're going to get discouraged, you're going to need resources, you're going to need some help. And a coach is there to come alongside and go, let me get you some help in this area. Let me encourage you in this area. Let me pray for you in this area. That's what a coach is there for you to do. And all of us, if we're honest, need some form of coaching in our lives, someone who helps move us along and encourages, challenges, and whatnot. And then finally, why is a coach important to us? Brad alluded to this earlier, but back in the early days of the well, all of the life group leaders we had could literally sit in Brad's living room, and he could coach them all, teach them, encourage, train them. And then something happened. The church started to grow, and people took seriously the mission statement of helping people connect to God and to each other in every neighborhood. And they invited people, like Brad said. And pretty soon, we had a tiger by the tail, and we were just trying to hang on for dear life. And we realized we've got to figure out a way to create space for people to get into community, into life groups. And so we opened up groups, and we created more space. But what we realized is we didn't have a good way to coach, to invest, to train, to encourage leaders. And so we made space. But what we realized is we needed to come back now and kind of undergird it and create a structure and create relationships where people can grow as disciples, where they can learn what it means to be followers of him and to grow as leaders. And so one of our options, as Brad said, we could do, as the Wells, we could say, we're at capacity. We got to shut the doors. We got to figure this thing out. And we can kind of close all the groups and we can coach them ourselves. But the reality is that we wouldn't be allowing God to work through us and in us through his mission. And so if we want to continue to reach those who are unchurched, those who need the gospel, we've got to create a structure that allows us to continue to grow. And as much as each one of us who are pastors and staff members would love to meet with all of you and get to know you and hang out with you and have meals and coach you, we can't do it. And so we need coaches to help us equip the church to do the work of ministry. We need coaches to help us train and encourage and whatnot. And so that's why we have coaches. The structure, that's why we've created that structure. And so those coaches are here and will be connected to each one of you. If you don't have one already, you will. And you'll hear more about that in the coming weeks probably. But I want to challenge you to answer just a couple questions around your table about coaching as we kind of move forward. And there's the first question is, why do you think it is important for you personally to have a coach? Why do you need a coach? How will a coach be beneficial to you as a person, as a life group leader? And then the second question's up there as well, if you get through that one. What barriers might prevent you from having a successful relationship with your coach? And how are you going to overcome them? Is it busyness? Is it you don't think you actually need a coach? Is it, I don't know, what are the maybe you won't connect to them relationally. What are the barriers that are potentially there, and how are you going to overcome them with your coach? So go ahead and discuss that for a few minutes.
All right. Well, I know that is not at all enough time. Sorry about that, but I'm not sorry. So I'm an achiever, so we have to stay on time. And that's why they give the achiever the responsibilities to do all the takeaways, all the next steps, all the data, all the information. So this is for all you achievers. Just going to give you kind of some next steps. So where do we go from here? We've thrown a lot at you. There's a lot been said, and there's a lot still to come. But we wanted to just, hopefully this was a helpful time that you can process the next future, the coming season, that you can know the heart of our vision for the well, how we see your guys' role as leaders. We also want to really highlight our mission statements and the values that we live out. I want to help you think through how you can more intentionally live those out. So thinking through, man, not only a study, but what does it look like to pray as a group? Man, we could also do baptism, communion, baby dedications. Let's think through that under Connect to God and each other. Let's think through fun ways we can engage, ways we can share. We can create a community atmosphere as a life group. And then also ways that we can really be intentional this coming season to engage our city, to engage our neighborhood. So hopefully that was helpful. I just want to draw some attention. You had a couple people up here on stage. I want to also draw attention to those that weren't. So first, Shay Sumlin, welcome back. Shay's over at the PM services, going to be doing a lot of teaching. Sam Freshwater, midweek. Yvonne Downs, she is over all the North campuses for the gals. New to staff, I don't know, what are you, Jessica, on your third week? All right, third week, Jessica Pierre. So Jessica, yeah, she's been awesome. She is helping with Clovis, Fig, and Southeast. So some of you guys have gotten emails from her. There you go. That's the face to the email. And then obviously Janelle. Janelle's over at North. And they also did a ton of work for today, so just give them a high five and just thank them for having food and all the goodies that we've been able to have, and we'll have lunch in a little bit here. So thanks. Yeah. Did I miss anybody? I think we're good. So with that, with admins, with Jessica, with Janelle, just wanted to emphasize as we go forward, communication is key. So with any of your campus pastors or the admins, really keep us in the loop. We need to know what's going on. So as you guys are processing decisions, as you're processing what you want to do next, curriculum, or people leaving or coming into your group, just let us know. It really helps us do a better job of shepherding you guys and just keeping track of the campus. We want to do a great job of caring for people. We have a high value that if somebody initiates, they want to join a life group or they want to get connected in some way, we want to really value that and take care of that. So your communication is really helpful. So as you get emails, we're trying to really do a good job of keeping them succinct, giving you the information you need. We're trying new things like texting or Facebook to really integrate all of that, but keep us in the loop. Just let us know what's happening. More information, the better. We're not, at the well, we're not micromanagers. We just want to know what's going on. So if you can help us in that, that would be huge. I wanted to draw attention to a couple things in terms of every neighborhood. So as we talk about it, we also want to provide some resources for you. So Artie, would you stand up? This is Artie Padilla. Artie runs one of the best nonprofits in town, Every Neighborhood Partnership. And what they really are is they're a hub in the community, and they connect with nonprofits, they connect with city leaders, they connect with churches and with schools, and he is a huge resource. If you have anything or any ideas or you need help in terms of figuring out how to be missional, how to get engaged, where to serve, in terms of they have resources. So tools, supplies, any kind of thing you may need for a project, they probably have it. But not only that, they have the connections for resourcing you. So if you're like, hey, people in our life group are really passionate about this, but I don't, is there an organization that does that? Or is there anybody I could talk to? Talk to Artie. He is a connector, and he is one of the most connected guys I know in Fresno. And so really want to be a resource. I don't know, would you want to add anything to that, Artie? All right, so get to know him and touch base with him. We've had a lot of life groups who's worked with Artie and EMP over the last couple of years? So huge value, right? Everybody can go, it's a huge resource. So touch base with him. Also want to let you know about our serve page. So if you go to the Wells website, get connected and serve, we have one-time opportunities that we put on there. So if you're ever looking for something, start with the Wells website, because we're trying to resource you as leaders to let you know what's going on. I know even up there, there's some events going on that nonprofits need help with. Off the front, he's going to do some bike repairs, and they would love life groups to just come out there and help. I know our Saturday sports program at Susan B would love a life group just to come out and run a Saturday. So